What's going on, people, and welcome to a brand new episode of Too Many Games and Not Enough Time, the podcast where we get to speak to incredible gamers across the globe. Once again, thank you for all of the support on the channel, loving the comments, the likes, allowing us to grow and get even better. Remember, we got a new schedule. We drop videos every Monday and Thursday, so make sure you hit that bell and come and join me. Now, on today's episodes, I have a content creator. I'm talking a fellow Final Fantasy VII fan. I'm talking the man who has the hat on his head. One sec. We are talking T34RIN from T34RIN TV. Welcome to Too Many Games, my G.
What is good, man? Listen, what are you telling me, Mr. Midas?
Do you know what?
Are you telling me?
You know what? I was saying, you see if this brother don't come on with his hat on his head, I'm going to be vexed, you know?
It's the T34RIN hat, man.
Yeah, he's not doing it for the culture if you don't have the hat on his head, fam.
Nah, it's not that, man.
So I'm glad it's cold as well. So I'm glad you're wearing it. I'm glad you represented. Now, we've interacted online. We've had many conversations offline about gaming. And we are both big Final Fantasy VII fans. See my Cloud Strife over there. I see the Buster Sword over there. But I want to know, how did the love of this game start for you?
For me, it was more like my first Final Fantasy game was Final Fantasy VI. Now, that was on the Super Nintendo, if you remember rightly. So that was the first one I really played. But my full love for Final Fantasy came from Final Fantasy VII. You know, Cloud, Block Arms. You know what I mean? That's where it all started, man, for me, man. So, yeah, that was the peak. Do you know what I'm saying? And it spiraled from there, Final Fantasy 8, 9, 10, and so forth. And then I went backwards. So then I went back and started playing the old retro ones, you know, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 4 or 5. So
it's funny because I've spoken to a couple people on the podcast about this, and it's very rare that you get people who love the old school Final Fantasies, the retro pixel art, and love the 2Ds. I mean, I love the 3D ones. So most people who started from 1 to 6, they're like, that's what Final Fantasy is. I don't like 7. I don't like the other ones. Yeah. And then people like myself who love 3D Final Fantasies find it difficult to go back and play the 2D pixel art. So it's really interesting that you actually started with 6 and then got into 7 and loved it so much.
Yeah, to be honest, I loved 6. I thought 6 was brilliant, because it was like the sprites. Do you know what I'm saying? It got me into like the old Final Fantasy, like the turn-based battle system. And then when they brought out 7, I was like, yo, the graphics, it's the first 3D sort of graphics, but it's very blocky. But it wasn't about the graphics more time. It was about the story, and it was also about the gameplay. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what drew me in more. And then 8 was just my favorite. So I'm not even gonna go too deep into 8, but 8 was one of my favorites still.
So I'm not gonna lie, when I got 7, I saw because I'm an RPG guy, and I really loved even though people say it's not an RPG, technically it's not. But Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past was like the first one I played, and I remember playing Secret of Mana. But I could, some guy that I knew, he had a Super Famicom, so I played Secret of Mana, but I couldn't find it anywhere in England. And someone in a magazine, they said, Link to the Past is just like Secret of Mana. So I played that, and then I heard the sickest JRPG ever to come out is Final Fantasy VII. And I remember looking at the back of the box, and on the back of the box, all it showed you was the art frames for when you're in a fight scene.
That's right.
So you're seeing I'm like, raw, the graphics are sick.
Mad.
How the graphics looking like this? And then when I started it and I saw Cloud looking like triangles and rectangles,
blocks, cheated me.
No, they're cheating, man. What is going on? What? The story
it was mad different as well. Yeah, it was mad different from the the battle system to how you're playing it. You know.
So the story in that game made me fall in love with those triangles and the things, and just Tifa and Cloud and Aerith and Barrett. Barrett's probably the second black pro tag that I ever saw in a game. The first one being Balrog from Street Fighter. So it just connected me with another level. It's weird though, because I don't love 8.
You don't like 8, no?
I think 8's okay. I think going from 7 and then seeing, because what they did with 8 is the same graphics that's in the 5 is in the actual. So I was blown. I was like, 8 is just so beautiful, but I just found School so whiny, fam.
There's a different sort of character.
Yeah,
but
I just found him mad whiny.
But one thing I will say though is I'm a big fan of like soundtracks for games, yeah. And when you see like 9, 8, and 7, and even 10, the soundtracks were just untouchable, man.
Yeah,
they were just amazing soundtracks. I'm a big fan of music in it as well as gaming. So when I hear good sounds and good music in games, it just makes me fall in love even more, you know?
Yeah, no, I fully hear you there. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7 Remake for me is like up there as one of the created games, and we both super excited for Rebirth. One thing that super interests me is Ever Crisis. And I know you did a reaction video to it as well. And at the end of Ever Crisis, we get to see Sephiroth, and they end it with Sephiroth standing there, and then he turns and his hair's short. And I'm like, are we gonna get?
Chair, like.
Are we gonna get a full prequel of who Sephiroth is? Like, good guy Sephiroth, like barking up buddies from the jump. So if you could write your own like Sephiroth story, like prequel, what would it be?
Hey. Do you know what I would like to know a bit more about? Because you know, in Crisis Core, you see obviously Angel, you see Genesis, and you see Sephiroth. Yeah, so you see how they sort of know each other and so forth. I want to see more about them as well. So how they got to know each other, because you just see them battling out in the training ground, but you don't really know how they met fully. You know, did they meet when they were young? Because Angel did speak about Genesis when he was young. You know what I mean? Going to his land and picking his apples and so forth and so forth, yeah? So I'd like to see more of that and how they met and how they went up the ranks through Soldier and so forth, you know what I mean? So I thought there's a bit of a hidden story there, you know?
Yeah, especially because like Genesis joined Soldier because of Sephiroth. So Sephiroth was known as a hero from young. So like, I would love, and obviously it's not, this isn't tactically the best, but I would love that Sephiroth be a bad man from the jump. So like young, when it so when it comes to like little enemies, he just OPs them, and then when he has to fight big bosses to actually have a proper challenge. And I know obviously technically on a gameplay perspective that wouldn't work, and maybe the only time normal beings can beat him is if they're doing it in like a training simulator. So because it's a training simulator, they can make them super strong to be at his level. And I really want to know how he got so cocky, because he was cocky. Like he was always like in Crisis Core when Genesis and Angel are going to rock him, he's just like
he's like,
you man are not ready for me. You man might be first class, but I'm first class plus.
Yeah, you ain't ready for me. Yeah, but one thing I was going to say actually though is I'd like to see how he got his Masamune sword, because they don't talk about that. They don't say how he got his sword, but if you notice in the clip, his sword changes.
Ah.
Yeah,
see,
when he goes from long hair to short hair, the sword changes. So I'd like to see how he got that Masamune sword, because that's going to be a different sort of story, you know?
All right, we're not a Final Fantasy podcast. Like, I know I could talk about Final Fantasy all day. But you've obviously been in the content creator space for a little while now. Tell me about your journey on why you decided that not only do you just want to play games that you love, you actually want this to be part of your life and talk about it and be able to express yourself through gaming.
Well, the thing is, I started gaming when I was very young. Now, me and yourself, most probably the same sort of age group. So I'm in like 80s baby, you know what I'm saying? So I've been playing games since the early 90s. Obviously, T34RIN TV is not just myself. Obviously, I'm T34RIN. I've obviously shared the channel with myself, my boy D Money and my boy Silver Ronin. Yeah, so there's three of us. We're a UK trio, and we all basically play obviously a wide range of games. It's not just like RPGs and fighting games. We all play different genres. So you've got myself, who plays obviously the God of Wars, the Final Fantasies, the Devil May Cries. You've got Silver Ronin that plays the Final Fantasies and the MMOs and all that sort of stuff. And you've got an anime games, and then you've got D Money that plays the FIFAs, the Resident Evils, and the Call of Duties and so forth. So we branch out to so many different gamers. Yeah, it's not just the same games over and over again, because there's so many games out there, and I don't think people really understand how many games there are. There's loads to be playing.
Too many games, fam. Too many games and not enough time. Yeah,
you know them ones. Yeah.
Do you know what? I need to take off this hat.
Yeah, take it off, man. Take it off.
I don't know how you do it, fam. I'm getting hot.
Two twos. If this was a summertime, you'd never catch me wearing this, man. I can't be wearing this in the summer. I switch it up, you know. But this is my tearing out. I wear it on streams and so forth, so people know. And yeah.
Nah, but, it's part of the look, man. It's part of the look, and I'm glad that you wore it. All right, Terrence. So obviously we've spoken about our love of Final Fantasy, and you've given us a bit more taste of the channel and kind of what you do. And I know that you love the God of Wars and you love the big high produced games,
hack and slash and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the Devil May Cries and stuff like that. And Devil May Cry 5 is super slept on. Such a good game. But I just want to take it back a bit, and I want to find out, what is one of the games like from your past that really stands out from you? A game that kind of sits there and makes you think, oh my gosh, this is one of the games why I actually became a gamer and wanted this to be part of my journey.
You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you ready? You sure you're ready for this?
Let's do it.
Zelda Ocarina of Time, man. My all-time favorite game. Yeah?
Jeez! My guy. So, my two favorite franchises ever. Final Fantasy, Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
Ocarina of Time is
for me.
Such an amazing game. And like Ocarina, like I said, we're old school, 80s babies. And when, like back in them days, there was no YouTube. So no one knew what was happening in the game. And Terran, let me take you back. It's a moment you're playing this game for hours, and Ganondorf is there and he's just badding you up, taking you like a Mayu, and you're going through this adventure, and then you have to get different gems, and you go into the Temple of Time, and then you get your sword and you put it down, and all of this light flashes, and you pull it up, and you're an adult, and you're like, whoa!
And it was mad, and you thought you could go back as well. You can go back to being a kid.
Fam, it blew my mind, because I thought the game was done. Because obviously, man's been playing for hours. I thought that was it. I've done the game.
Got the free gems, you know, the free gems, the free gems. You get to the sword.
Exactly.
You've done that hard work now.
Yeah, you've done the game, and then you become an adult Link. And I don't think there's been a more mind-blowing moment in a video game for me more than that. Like, and then you're playing literally a whole new world. All the
temples, about 5 different temples. Yeah.
And then it gets dark as well. Like it starts getting scary as you go into the town. You got them,
and zombie-looking things.
Like, it's just incredible. What is it about that game that just really touches your soul?
It's, you know what, it was everything. It was from, like, as you said, from being a kid, then going to an adult, the music, the ocarina, just different things that you could change the weather. You could change it. If it was sunny, you can change it to rain. Like the tunics, you can like go underwater. You can, like, if you was wearing your green tunic, you wouldn't be able to go underwater for too long. Then you had your iron boots, your hover. Mate, it's too much to talk about. It's just mad, and not enough time. You know them ones. It's crazy. But there was one temple that really got me down. That was the water temple, man. I was using keys in all the wrong doors. I thought I messed myself up a couple of times. I ain't gonna lie.
The water temple can suck its mum. Straight.
It was mad.
The water temple can. Do you know what? I was saying all the time. So on the earlier episodes of Too Many Games I recorded today, I was talking to a indie developer, and he was saying that Breath of the Wild is one of his favorite games. And I was saying that one of the things, like, I love Breath of the Wild, and Ocarina of Time is my favorite, and Breath of the Wild is my second. And I was saying, when Tears of the Kingdom come out, I hope that we get more traditional temples like in Ocarina of Time, because I love the Divine Beast, but I just didn't think they were great as temples. But I said, I don't want no rotted water temple, because that water temple was a gino.
It was a mad one. And I like the bosses of Ocarina of Time as well. I thought they were good, you know. I thought they were really good, the bosses, you know.
Do you know what? Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess have really good bosses.
Yeah, Twilight. I also played Majora's Mask as well shortly after that. The only, do you know what? You're not gonna like me for this, but the only one I didn't really click onto was Breath of the Wild, you know.
So you know what?
I didn't really click onto it.
Tell me why.
I just didn't, the whole situation. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm old school or what, and I just didn't have time for it or what. But it was the whole weapons breaking and having to go and get other weapons, and I like the whole climb up the mountains and stuff. I thought that was really like, it was good to play. I like Ganondorf, innit? I'm a big fan of Ganondorf, yeah. And when I saw like, what was he called again? Something Ganon. I can't remember at the end with the lava and all. It was called something else anyway. But I wanted to see like Ganon. I didn't even play it all the way through. That's how deep it is. But Ganondorf's probably in it somewhere. But I just didn't.
Yeah, no, but obviously, so Ganon is the ultimate form of Ganondorf, innit? When it's Ganondorf and then he gets super powerful, he becomes his next alter ego, which is Ganon, which is the pig form of who he is. But fam, Breath of the Wild is so special, and I would say if you're tempted to play Tears of the Kingdom, go just retry Breath of the Wild, because
I have to.
Because one of the things with Breath of the Wild is the negative thing about Breath of the Wild, and it's probably what put you off, is the story is in the back end. Like the story is in the back end. It's not the main plot like other Zelda games. But fam, this game is very special. Like devs always talk about, you can do anything, you can go anywhere. If you see it in the distance, you can go there. And it is magical. You'll get some moments in that game that are magical and take you to another place, and you can see that Nintendo, things that they wanted to implement in like Skyward Sword, I feel like Skyward Sword is a really weak Zelda game, and stuff that they really wanted to implement from back there, but the technology just wasn't there, so it is definitely worth revisiting, because as a Zelda guy who's played everything from Link to the Past up to Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, all of them, it's something incredible and definitely worth your time.
Because what I did notice is there's a lot of like the Temple of Time. You actually see the Temple of Time all in rubble and stuff. You actually start visiting the same sort of places that you saw in Ocarina of Time, like the Long Ranch and all that. Right. It's all there. It's all in the game, which I thought was great. But I don't know if it was really pulling me in. I don't know if it was a story or what. I'm not too sure. But I have to revisit it. As I say, I'm always willing to give a game another go. Do you know what I mean? If it's not pulling me the first time, I'll try it again and see what it's saying.
And also, sometimes it's just about the time. Like, what game did you just play last? Because if you just, for example, I think what I find really hard is like open world fatigue. So if I play like an Assassin's Creed game, which is a million things to do, then I don't want to play another big open world game. I want to jump into, I don't know, like a shooter. I might just go and play a COD campaign or like something different to kind of break the monotony. So depending what you just played or what's been going on, that can kind of alter how you're feeling at that moment.
Yeah. I think I was playing at the time. I think I might have been playing Final Fantasy 12. You know, the new one on the, well, it's not new, so new, but it's like the PS4 version of that Final Fantasy 12. So I think I might have been playing that at the time, and I was just like, you know what? I think I'll park this one still.
I don't know how you're parking Breath of the Wild for Final Fantasy 12, fam. Like,
do you know? I'm not even. I wasn't even too keen on Final Fantasy 12, but I was just like, at the time I was playing in it, so I was dead in. Like, but you know what? In all fairness, let me take it back quickly. Yeah, I've spent 50 British on that Zelda, you know. So I think I'm gonna have to revisit it, because that's a waste of money right there.
Yeah, fam.
I still got it.
Yeah, you need to. Like, I think if you just go into it as with an open mind, it is a Zelda game, and they've broken certain traditions with the weapons breaking and stuff like that, but it makes sense. It proper makes sense because literally, because when I think about like The Witcher Wild Hunt is one of my favorite games. I love that
Witcher.
game.
That's
but when I get a weapon that I love, everything else doesn't matter. Like everything else just don't care, and with Ocarina, with Breath of the Wild, it's giving you lots of different options to kind of explore, not just the game, but how you hit every goal. Term, we're running out of time. Like, we're only a short form podcast, but before we go, like I said, you and your team, you create some super dope content, and as the people can see, you're super passionate about gaming. If someone's feeling your vibe right now, they're feeling their hat, they want to know more about the squad, where are you sending them to come and check out some content?
Well, we've got Twitch, which is T34RIN TV. We've got Instagram, T34RIN TV. We've got basically Twitter, you name it, any social media platform, it's just T34RIN TV. And obviously we've got our YouTube. We're mainly on YouTube. As I say to all my people that pass through, if you like the vibe, go subscribe. You know them ones, you know the name of the game.
See that? If you like the vibe, go subscribe. And if you're feeling the vibe of this video, make sure you subscribe to this too. Remember, we drop videos every Monday and Thursday at 6:30 GMT. So make sure you hit that bell and come and join we. He's been T34RIN TV. I've been Mr. Midas and you've been the MVPs. We out of here. Peace.